Hi, I was going to put this in an email and then I thought, oh, it's just so much easier to do a video because it's kind of easier to explain and hopefully it makes more sense, but we'll see. So absolutely everything in our lives comes back to our nervous system and where the nervous system is. So by the nervous system, I mean your brain and your spinal cord that makes up the central nervous system. And that has two parts. I'm going to keep this really simple. There is, of course, the sympathetic nervous system on one side. So you might know that as the fight, flight, freeze response. And then there is the parasympathetic nervous system on the other side. And you might know that as the rest and digest. And if we are triggered by something, so it can be somebody looking at us in a funny way, or somebody saying something to us, or a thought that we have, our nervous system goes towards fight, flight, or freeze. And if you're in that full state, then you really are full on, ready to run away from danger, stay and fight the danger, or just freeze and do nothing and hope that the danger goes away. And if we're in that place of sympathetic nervous system dominance, which frankly in our busy society most of the time we are, because there's so much to do. I was reading the other day about how much we are dealing with, how much our brains are having to take on, about, I would say, probably 10 years worth of growth in technology. We take that on in kind of like about the space of about 10 weeks. Everything is moving so fast. So naturally, the nervous system is elevated. Okay, so we're more towards that place of fight, flight, or freeze. Low level stress is with us constantly. The problem with this, of course, is that the body can only do stress and nothing else at the same time. So your body can do stress, but it cannot digest your food properly. You cannot think properly because your prefrontal cortex doesn't stick around. It's that fear center in the brain that's working. You can't manufacture and release hormones efficiently. How interesting, when you're in that place of fight, flight, or freeze. You can't fight pathogens, so you can't fight viruses or bacteria that are in the system. You can't heal and repair injuries or cells within the body. So all of this has to only lead one way. If we're in that constant place of fight, flight, freeze, or heading towards that low level stress, it's only going to end one way. That's why we have phrases that we use like, if you don't make time for your wellness, better make time for illness, because that's what's coming. So this is why we do practices like yoga and meditation. But you might also do exercise. You might also have something that's just yours that you do that puts you in that place of flow. So it might be like reading, or it might be creating stuff, cooking, that kind of thing. So it's important that we realize this, that what we are doing to ourselves, because ultimately everything is a choice. Might not be an easy choice, but it's very simple. It's all a choice. We are choosing to keep ourselves in this place where the nervous system is elevated, and we are not making the time to intentionally bring the nervous system back to that place of rest and digest, which is over this side. So I want you to think about that. What do you do to help yourself come out of that place of low level stress? And honestly, this needs to be done regularly. So not even just once a week. I'm going to say you need to do it more like on a daily basis, sometimes hourly, sometimes every time you notice that your nervous system has been spiked. Hope that makes sense. Let me know. You can always respond to this email if you've got any questions. See you soon.